if you believe in quality over quantity and think indulging is good and the best form of indulgence is space, then you'll know where this is coming from. Maruti Suzuki's first MPV for their premium Nexa experience, the XL6, which is based on the Ertiga. Why is it called the XL6? Well, it could be because it's extra long. It's 50 millimeters longer than the Ertiga, and that's down to the redesign for the front and the rear. This, you can see, is quite different. It's got a more aggressive look about it. It looks bolder. That's thanks to that, flatter hood which sits taller now, and the grille which is bolder, and all the elements there that make it look more macho. There's also the style quotient, of course, which is down to the new headlamps which pack in all LEDs. Similarly, also for the fog lamps. Actually, Maruti could have called it the TS6, thoda SUV. But it's a good thing they didn't, because in terms of ground clearance, this is the same as the Ertiga, but at 185 mm, it isn't low. The wheelbase of the XL6 is also identical to the Ertiga, but there are differences in dimensions. For instance, the XL6 is taller, and that's thanks to rugged elements added in, like the roof rail for instance. And if you look at the dimensions, it's also wider, and that's because of the body cladding that's been added in for that rugged look. One thing that could have gone XL on the XL6 are wheel sizes. These are the same 15 inches. 16 inches would have made this really look that much more robust, but Maruti say engineering those in would have added a lot more time. And as of now, these are the same designs as well that you see on the Ertiga, only these are finished in black. Yes, if you're wondering, the side panels, which are the doors, the roofline, are all shared with the Ertiga as well. At the rear, the XL theme continues. You have that added sense of robustness thanks to the redesigned bumpers, and the tail lamps add to the touch of premiumness that you're looking for by way of LED elements that are now built in, making them look that much more attractive in the dark. You aren't convinced about what XL6 stands for, right? Well, fair enough, because the genesis of the name and this vehicle altogether starts here with the captain seats. The idea was to add that dash of luxury, and that's why also it's called the 6, because there's one seat less here. It's not a 7-seater, it's a 6-seater. And well, the missing seat, it helps liberate more room, elbow room. And can you really put a price on space? Well, maybe not. But maybe you can, because Maruti is charging about 70 to 80,000 rupees more for the XL6 over the Ertiga. Well, you could say I'm being a bit unfair, because the XL6 is offering you more equipment compared to the Ertiga. For starters, we showed you on the outside, the LED headlamps, fog lamps are standard across the range. Inside the cabin, you get an all-black experience which adds to that sense of, well, coziness and exclusivity. And if you look at the seats, they are leather wrapped on this top-end Alpha variant, which also offers auto headlamps, also offers you reversing camera. There are also auto folding mirrors on the Alpha variant. But the Zeta variant, the lower variant, is also very well equipped. You get cruise control on that, automatic air conditioning, you get tilt adjustable steering, you get height adjustable seats, you get rear parking sensors, and you also get Suzuki's SmartPlay Studio system here, which has connected car features built into it. So you can geofence, you can track your car remotely if required. It also has the color TFT MID, which is really packing in a lot of information and data for you to see and enjoy. Also standard across the XL6s will be the comfort factor offered here. Now, these seats are identical to the ones in the front, except for these armrests added on here. And if I have to nitpick, yes, the under-thigh support could have been a little bit better, but you have so much room, you can push your feet forward. And this is with the seats set all the way back. If I slide it all the way forward, yeah, it gets a bit tight, and this seat is set to my driving position, but a middle setting is also plenty good. That's also because footroom is plenty, and that applies even to the occupant over here, and that's despite there being a lithium-ion battery under the front passenger seat that's there for the smart hybrid system. And well, despite the cabin now being all black, the sense of space really isn't hindered. So comfort, good. But luxury quotient, I feel Maruti could have done so much more. For instance, sunblinds for these large windows, cup holders, at least one, and USB charging points instead of this 12-volt socket. I think these would be considered as basics. And if I have to really dream big, how about a panoramic sunroof? The only thing standing in the way of that clearly is this, and some imagination and maybe some engineering challenges that I know nothing about. But one thing I do know is that Maruti, apart from sealing the deal when it comes to the luxury quotient, could have really worked on the safety front. Yes, you have ABS, you have EBD, you have dual airbags, you have ISOFIX mounts, you have hill hold and ESP on the automatic variants, but what you don't have is side and curtain airbags, and that's a glaring miss for a car which focuses on the seats right here. But now, what about the guys who are going to be sitting over there? My favorite thing about the third row is one of the ways that you can get there. Watch this. Walking down the aisle can be fun. And well, as you can see, you have a simple lever here to tilt the seat forward and to slide it forward. That's the other way of getting in and out, and as you can see, the door is really large. So accessing it through this means is also quite convenient. Well, in terms of space, as you'll see now, with the middle seat set to a kind of middle setting, you still have enough knee room here for somebody like me who's 5 feet 6 inches tall. So adults here in the third row can actually spend a decent amount of time here. Long journeys, maybe not longish journeys, definitely possible, because third rows, you'd say under thigh support is pathetic. I would say this is better than what you would expect or get in most third rows. And along with that, there's also the fact that you have adjustable headrests. The seat is recline adjustable as well and easy to do so. And along with that, you also get 3-point seat belts, you have cup holders and a charging socket. Of course, no USB here, and that's on the other side. And talking about practicality, the XL6, like the Ertiga, is offering you a decent amount of boot space even with the third row up. Well, this might not look like much to you, but keep in mind that this boot floor just can be removed and tucked in underneath, making it that much deeper. So actually fitting in a large suitcase here is very much possible. And considering that these seats are 50-50 split and can be folded down, well, boot space really does expand quite easily and quickly. The only downside is because those captain seats do not flip and tumble, you don't get that flat open storage area in which you can store long objects. Well, if you're planning on spending time here, what you need to know is that the XL6 is not available with a diesel engine. The only engine on offer is the 1.5-litre petrol, and this comes with the mild hybrid tech. The only option you have actually is in terms of the gearboxes. You have a manual and an automatic. Yes, the engine and the gearboxes are the same as on the Ertiga, and the experience is similar too. This engine has always impressed us with its usability because the mild hybrid tech actually fills in and gives you a bit more push at lower RPMs, which makes it that much easier to drive at low RPMs at low speeds. And that's what helps this automatic gearbox, because this is only a 4-speeder and something that feels a little bit dated, especially now in the XL6. But because of the engine, you get easy to use performance, which is great for everyday driving and for even overtaking as long as you're not in a big rush. when you do hurry this engine and gearbox combination, you end up feeling that the engine has to stretch, really has to rev itself up to give you the performance required. And undoubtedly so, because the gearing is tall. First gear 60, second gear is about 110 indicated here on the speedo. Because of this, the auto box acts a bit confused at times, and you don't have any control of gear shifts. There are no paddles or tap to shift on the lever either. So it's better to just drive with grace. Now if you opt for the manual, one hassle of course is going to be that you have to operate the clutch. But aside from that, the punch, the drivability, all of that is multiplied with that manual gearbox. The MID also shows you your usage of acceleration, the brake, in fact even the G-forces. What I like though is how it shows you the working of the hybrid system here. A nice touch here is the illumination here on the driver's console, which shows you how you're driving. Green for eco, blue for a little bit more spirited. The white light is when the hybrid system is recuperating energy. The mild hybrid tech also gives it stop-start functionality. Every bit helps save fuel. Now you might look at the rugged exterior of the XL6 and think that this would be capable of doing a bit of rough roading. Well, just about as much as the Ertiga would. But having said that, the balance that the XL6 strikes in terms of comfort and composure is a nice one. You won't feel nervous at highway speeds, and even over potholes and broken roads in the city, this will soak them up fine. A trump card for the XL6 is that it offers the automatic gearbox version in the top-end Alpha trim, which will make it even more tempting for some. So, where does the XL6 stand? Maruti Suzuki's XL6, I really feel for it. It's bitten off a big challenge because for the first time we have something in the Nexa lineup that we can compare directly to something in an arena lineup, and it's a Maruti that's trying to do luxury. So it could do so much more, be it in terms of features, comfort, convenience, and well, safety especially. But as is, what it's packing, the transformation from the Ertiga to the XL6, be it in terms of the ambience in the cabin, the comfort in the second row, and the features on offer, it does feel more premium and definitely more convincing and appealing. No small part because of the change in the way it looks. So, for the big family looking for that one vehicle that can do it all, as a driver for the missus, for something for the weekend, something that feels a bit more upmarket, the XL6 might be just the thing they've been looking for.